Good morning, team, or good afternoon, wherever you are in all the world. Thank you for joining us on this afternoon and this morning. We'll be starting shortly. We're just giving everyone the opportunity to kind of filter in. Please, please, please. We love friendly vibes. We love lots of love. So go ahead and put in the chat where you're coming in from. Thank you so much for joining us and being punctual. We really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Atlanta's always in the house, boy. All right. Wow. Alberta, Canada. Clinton, MD. My. Look at that. UK. Okay. South Africa. Florida. I love it. I love it. Texas is in the house. My goodness. Thank you guys for joining us. All right. ATL, Miss Linda. Thank you. South Africa, yeah, I always give lots of love because, you guys are our tribe. You guys are really our tribe, and we're grateful for you. So thank you so much for joining us on this morning, this afternoon. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. New York, New York. I love it. I love it. Nigeria, come on, my brother. Yes. Antonio from New York. All right. My family is here. Thank you.
But.
That's right, Rufus. Yes. Okay, as my Nigerian family teach me, no wahala, guys. That means that no worry, no worry. Thank you so much. All right, Houston, Texas, thank you for joining us. Thank you. All right, we love it. We're going to get started here soon. I was just trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt to get in to get Washington State. All right. Right. We got all the whole coast, the whole United States and globally. Globally. We love it. We love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Inglewood, woohoo, California. Thank you. Thank you. Love it.
Hey, Queen,
Oh,
Queen, I'll be back in like not even a minute or so. I'm just waiting to let a few people in, and I'm actually sending out some text. But keep it going,
okay.
guys. Thanks,
I
thanks
sure
again, guys.
will.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Queen Linda. I see you, my family. Queen Nakia. I love you guys so much. You guys don't know. You guys are the ones that make our team. All right. Miss Edna, Atlanta by the way of my Miami homies. Okay. All right. We're the same. We're in the same walk on that one. Atlanta by the way of Miami homies. Yes. All of all of the homies from bottom. Edna know what I'm talking about. How you doing, Queen Elnora? All right. Thank you so much for joining us on today. Thank you. We're gonna ask Queen Vernetta is here. How you doing, my beautiful queen? She slays. Yes, she does. And King Dion. King Dion is here from Cali. I'm just calling everybody out now at this point. I'm not gonna try to make y'all uncomfortable, I promise you, but I'm glad that you were able to make it in and make it in on time. Thank you so much. Hi, Liz. Your beautiful face. God bless you. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. We are so appreciative of you guys being here on time. We will be starting shortly. I'm just getting the party started and saying good morning to everyone. Hello, family Dion. Good to see everybody in. And again, if you can drop where you are coming from in the chat. We're gonna hopefully give you guys some really good nuggets because we really are building a community and we can see it. We can see everyone has the hunger, the heart. All right, Rialto, California. That's it, my brother. And ATL, Minneapolis. Oh, thank God it's warming up. Woo, stay warm. Okay, so as you can see, Jimmie is starting to open our slides for our presentation, which means that's my cue. We'll be getting started shortly here. Thank you so much again for joining us. Thank you. We appreciate it. And hopefully we can give you some nuggets. This is all from our personal experience, and this is all from what we can see to help to grow as a team, because we want a strong community. We want a community that is thriving. We want, to raise strong leaders. If you're on this call, if you're not a leader, if you don't think of yourself as a leader, you're on the wrong call, because this call is to bring out that inner leader in you. This is to help you to stand strong and teach you some principles that are going to help you to flow better with your teams. Flow better.
Absolutely.
Okay? So
Absolutely.
we have Jimmie. Jimmie, you want to take it away, honey?
Well, yes. Queen, you're going to be running the show in just a moment. But I want to take a moment and show respect. Well, first of all, we give all honor to the Most High, all right? Yep. And we give him praise and thanks for his goodness and his ability his power within us. Christ in us is the only hope of glory. So we have to go out and be that example. So I give him praise and thanks for all of you and for, your leadership abilities and capabilities and the things that you could do to make the world a better place.
Yep.
This is not just for BG Wealth. I think this can go a long ways outside of this. Mm-hmm. Arlene and I were going to inject and share some of our experiences within the church, because we're apostles. So we've been around pastors, bishops, and prophets and evangelists. And, that's a fivefold ministry, but that's leadership as well. And then we've been around lots of, millionaire businessmen and women. And then, we've been in multiple multi-level marketing companies, et cetera, et cetera. We want to pour that into you. And I think we can do it, if we just take our time. And it's not just us. We have other incredible leaders on here as well. So while I'm thinking about that, while I'm talking about it, I'm going to say his name first, because he's the reason we're in this. His name is Mr. Rufus Reddick, King Reddick.
Yes.
and I honor him and respect him. What? Yeah, go ahead, brother. What are you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Can you introduce me? I want to hear what you guys say about it.
Right. Yeah, amen. Well, the first thing I'll say about you is with leadership, Rufus he's full of humility. To me, the greatest leaders, from what I've understood about leadership, is they don't have to be eloquent speakers. They don't have to be, so highly intelligent and the man, they know all the verbiage and all that. They serve. And the best servants are the best leaders. And this man has served Arlene and I and my team from day one. That's why we grew so fast. I was a little uncomfortable with using, I have the Exodus wallet, right? So I thought I was a master of that. But when it came to BG Wealth, the Trust Wallet was the best. He kept telling me, you need to use the Trust Wallet, brother, right? And I wouldn't listen. I was hard-headed. How many of y'all know, just because you're a leader doesn't mean you can't be hard-headed? But after a while, I said, I really need to figure out how to do what he's doing, because he was helping us with, I'm talking sometimes $10,000, $15,000 worth of volume we were sending to him to help our people add money to their wallets. Mm-hmm. He was taking that in out of his busy schedule to do that for us. So when he did that, I said, as a leader, I got to duplicate him. And I watched him. He duplicated what he learned. And that was the greatest thing about him, his leadership ability. And I think, if we can find another Rufus or 3 or 4 more, man, we're going to be super, 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 super successful. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of us as a unit. But that's not the only thing about him. I saw how he served his wife. I met him in person. All right.
Yes.
I saw he demonstrated. Again, leadership is demonstration, right?
Yes.
Gurus would tell you something that they're not doing, but the leaders would demonstrate. So he took us all out, and when we made level 1 manager, he took us out to eat on him, and then he turned around and he gave the bill to BG Wealth, which that's why I like BG Wealth so well, because he took the pictures and sent it, but it came out of his pocket initially. And so I said, you know what? That's a guy I can follow right there.
Yes.
And his wife is amazing. They're amazing. They're a power couple. King and Queen. Queen Nakia.
Right. Yes. That's right. Queen Nakia.
Queen Nakia. Yes. I don't want to say her name wrong. I know she's on here. Hey there.
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon.
Fantastic.
Good afternoon, Queen. Thank you.
Oh, no. I made a boo-boo. Nakia, you said hello. I'm talking about King Rufus. What is your wife's name? I apologize.
Her name is Nakia.
Okay. Because I was like, I saw the other Nakia saying hello. I'm like, I don't want to mess this up now. Okay. All right. So there's 2 queens, but the queen I'm talking about is Rufus's queen. All right. And so
my wife's name is Nakia too.
There we go. Yes. Good. We want to make sure.
It's Nora Reddick, but she go by Nakia.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Thank you so much for the kind words.
Absolutely. And
Thank you, sister.
Right. You guys have treated us like royalty. And that's what I
Yes.
know about leadership. All the other things like how you speak and how you build a team and you know, the things that some people are not really well versed in. Some people are not afraid or you know, well, they are afraid of getting up and talking in front of other people, or they don't know how to go out and necessarily serve. But the basics of leadership is serving. And that's what I learned from him. I observed from his team, and he duplicates himself. Yes. That's what we're going to teach you today, how to duplicate. If you can go out there and find 5 people, you don't have to, but in BG Wealth, if you can find 5 people and teach them to find 5, you'll be very, very successul. You'll make a lot more money than what they're saying you can make.
Well, okay. Since you're doing introductions, honey, then I need to step in and I need to introduce our latest and greatest superstar shiner, my sister, Nicole. Awesome. Nicole has Nicole has come up underneath me, and I have seen Nicole just take this thing and just shine. You know, it's one thing when you grab a hold of something, but it's another thing when you decide, wow, you know, I'm really going to master the presentation. I'm going to master how to speak to my group. We're going to talk about things like communication skills, because she's got it. She has excellent skills. And we're so happy and honored that she's come alongside us. She's a heavyweight from other network marketing organizations, but she's come and brought her superpower here to us.
Absolutely.
So we're grateful for that. So what I'm going to do, Jimmie, just in the interest of time, because we want to be sure to be sensitive to that, can we go ahead and start the presentation?
Absolutely.
And then have Nicole and Rufus to come and step in and speak at certain points based on their personal experiences.
Absolutely. So I'm going to pray, guys, and release faith and the blessing. Father, we give you praise and thanks for the meeting. We're asking you for supernatural and empowerment and wisdom right now. Whatever we speak and say, may it bring glory to your name. But Father, with all the getting that we get today, give us the understanding according to the book of Proverbs. We declare that no weapon formed against this broadcast, this platform, against the people and the knowledge that goes forth shall be able to prosper. We push back darkness. We release your blessing. We declare that no weapon formed against us will prosper. And I pray that the people grow spiritually and financially because of the impartation today. And it's in Yahushua's name we pray. Amen. When I say Yahushua, I mean that's the Hebrew for Jesus, in case y'all don't know that. Most should know. Okay. Back to you, honey. Let's go.
All right.
God bless you well. God bless United States of America. Amen.
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 Honey, go ahead and get the slides started. Thank you so much, Taz, for giving us an amen on that one. Yeah, if you can go ahead and get the slides started, honey.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay. So now, go back one page.
Wait, too many? Okay, gotcha.
Is that the second page?
It should be. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There we go.
Page.
That's it.
There we go.
Got
okay. Let's talk about the problem. Okay. And this is pretty standard because, guys, we deal with this all the time. When Nicole is doing her presentation, most people join opportunities, but a lot of people do not understand duplication. A lot of people, that's a very important concept. It's one thing to join an opportunity. Most people say, well, I'm just going to join. I'm going to kind of keep my head down. And I don't really want to build a community because, you know, I've been burned in the past, or I just don't have the effort or the time. Or this is something that at the very, very beginning onset, I think that we need to kind of explain. We need to explain that we're building communities. And because we're building communities, duplication is a natural byproduct of a community. Whenever you duplicate, that means that, wow, what you're teaching me is so powerful, I have to go and share it. Now,
exactly.
At this point, even fewer people built leaders. That's the reason why we wanted to have this meeting, because we believe that all the people that God has assigned to us and that we are assigned to are leaders. We believe that it's not an accident that you got on this call this morning. We believe that you are all leaders. And then many depend on someone else for success. We're going to change that.
Right. And let me just add to that. So if you look at the greatest companies, right? From Amway, because I was in Amway 4 times, I was in Melaleuca 3 times, and I was in ACN 2 times, and I was in. Me and Rufus talked about this. We were all in 5 links, I witnessed one of the greatest leaders of all time, one of my mentors. His name is Pastor Jonathan B. Knight, and he understood this principle. I'm going to tell you guys, duplication is how you create leaders. Any great establishment, if you look at them, they find a leader, and that leader goes out and duplicates themselves over and over again to multiply. Yes. Any multi-level marketing company, any major franchise out there, look at McDonald's and all of them. They just have a model that they duplicate, and that's a secret for success with this. But on to the next slide.
Okay. Honey, you gonna switch the slide?
I'm on it right now, baby cakes.
No, you got it. Go.
There it is.
Go. Okay, There we go. So let's talk about our philosophy. And when I say our philosophy, listen, everyone I know Sparta Nation is here with us. At least Queen Vernita is representing Sparta Nation here with us and representing our group as well. We all do things differently. However, our philosophy over the most part is the same. We adopt this BG Wealth principle. Number one, everyone is responsible for their own success. Everyone is responsible for their own success. And number two, each leader teaches 5 people how to duplicate themselves. Why? Because this is not a dependency. This is discipline duplication. What are we out to do? We want to duplicate ourselves. We want to duplicate our integrity, duplicate our right principles, duplicate the way we communicate, duplicate the way we. So it's for those of you that are teachers on here, I know Nicole is a former teacher, so she'll agree with me. The greatest way to learn something is through repetition. Right. We've all heard that. Jimmie, did you have anything you want to add on to that, honey?
Not really, not this time. That's very good. Next slide.
Okay. Next slide, please. All right. So now let's talk about the core concept. We're going to kind of go through a couple of core concepts of leadership. And this is what we want to drive home. Ownership creates power. Ownership. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So if you can switch on to the next slide, Jimmie, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means personal responsibility, right? Now, before I get into all the things that you see on the thing, that means you're going to control your own activities and you're going to control your own income. We talked before about everyone is responsible for their own success. Let's look at some BG wealth math. If you want more income, that's going to equal skill times activity times your leadership. If you can know how to duplicate those 3 things, if you can continue that is how your income will increase, right? This is not about blaming, it was my upline fault because if they had done this, or no, you're not going to wait to be motivated. We've got too many powerful people on here. So you don't really need motivation.
Right.
And the thing is that I learned from Rufus and that I learned from Nicole, no man is left behind. If I can sit and I can say, you know something, let me check in with Rufus, let me check in with Nakia, let me check in with Esri, let me see what's going on. And last but not least, no emotional dependency. Yep. I love you guys all like a family.
Absolutely.
I love you guys, but we are going to run this business with thoroughness, with strength, and with power. We don't need people to feed our ego. We got it going on, guys.
Absolutely.
We really do.
Absolutely.
We really do. So that means we don't need emotions to make us feel a certain way because we really do have what we need. Every resource that we need is right here. It's right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You wanted to say something?
Well, I would just say this. Okay, so if you notice some companies, guys, whenever there's no mature leadership involved, they don't really evolve to the next generation, or they can't really pass anything down because the leadership's not there. And if you're blaming, you're not taking initiative, and it's partly the leadership's fault. I'm coming from a church standpoint. If you go in certain churches and you see that the pastor is just, collecting all the money and driving the nice car, but not teaching other leaders how to be prophets and evangelists and teachers, or how to go out and prosper themselves, those churches stay small. You know what I mean? That's an analogy. They don't grow because the leader is so intimidated by other people growing.
Right.
Let's apply that to this. In multi-level marketing, I've been to seminars, and there's only one leader in that group. I look at the leader. The leader's manipulative. He or she wants everybody to listen, to submit to them. And that's a form of witchcraft. I'm not trying to make this spiritual, but it really is. You have to find ways to not be intimidated by the people that are the greater talent. Sometimes everybody can't do everything, but there's people that may come in after you that are actually, could be greater in certain areas, and you got to tap into what they have and help bring the gift out without being intimidated.
Yes.
So if you want to grow a huge organization, it's the best leaders, guys, want the people underneath them to become greater than themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Yahushua HaMashiach, he's the best example. He wanted those 12 to be greater than him. And if you look at where we are today, things are multiplying. And it's the same principle when you're building something like this. Find the leaders and pour your best into them and let them go. Let them take off. Now, I got a text message, and I got to address this really quick. I think it's very important. Someone texted me and was offended with me praying in the beginning. And I'm doing this, guys, this is how leadership works. When you see something, there's a way to deal with things with grace. And there are times you got to deal with things that are uncomfortable. So what I would say to that person, I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to do that. He said in the text, I don't appreciate you bringing religion and business together. We may be of different faiths. Here's what I'm going to say to that. With all due respect, I respect whatever you worship. You can worship a tree if you want to, right? If you're a Muslim, that's just you can do whatever you want to do. And when I begin to pray over my platform, what I'm doing, I'm releasing the blessing. And I'm going to always do that because I know where it came from. So if you disagree with what we're doing, you can disconnect, you can come off and pray to the God you pray to. And I respect all of the beliefs. But we have to, when you build something and you know who helped you build it, you can pray how you want to pray. And I'm not making anyone believe what we believe. So let's just clear the air there. And so, sir, if you're offended with that, I understand. And I apologize if I personally offended you, but that wasn't what it was about. It was about bringing the blessing in what we're doing. All right. So having said that, let's go to the next screen.
Awesome. Before you go to the next screen, honey.
Sure.
And let's go back one screen for a second, because I really would love to get Rufus and Nicole to jump on their feedback
awesome.
Personal responsibility, because the reason why, absolutely, Tyson, this will be recorded. The reason why they are personal speakers along here with us is because they have displayed personal responsibility. We also have leaders that also have done that. I'm not acknowledging, but I'm just wanting to pull from their personal experience. So if you don't mind, Nicole or Rufus or both of you, would you mind unmuting for just 1 second and just tap on your experiences with personal responsibility when it comes to leadership, please?
Okay, thank you for having me. Thank you for
ladies first.
I appreciate you, Rufus. I do. All right, if y'all can hear me.
Absolutely.
So I just want to thank you all for actually being here. Every person on this platform right now is a leader. Every person on here has taken the responsibility of learning what leadership is about. Leaders have to be led.
Yep.
And this is what this is all about. We don't come in and become a leader just overnight.
Right.
We are learned. We are taught. We are caught that information, right?
Absolutely.
They say you don't get taught the information, you get caught the information. So this is what this is all about. So I'm not going to take too much time, but I just want to thank you all for being here, each and every one of us, because without us all, we wouldn't have anyone to lead. If you weren't here, who can we lead? Or who can you lead?
Absolutely.
If you don't learn how to lead. So
powerful.
That's what that is. And it is our responsibility to be here and to, move forward and pass that torch along. Yes.
Amen to that. That's real good. Thank you very much. Rufus, go ahead.
And not to be the dead horse, Jimmie, but to piggyback on what you said, I don't even feel like, we're mixing religion, I learned a long time ago, money is spiritual. And a lot of people don't even understand that.
Absolutely.
Because money is a currency. And anything that's always moving, that's spirit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But I ain't gonna get on here and preach, because that's a long subject that I learned a long time ago. But that's a spirit.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Because the spirit is always moving. While you sleep in your bed, the spirits are moving. They're always constantly moving. That's why you're dreaming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you're waking up in pain. That's why some ladies feel like a man been on top of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
it's a spirit.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna go there. But but we talk about responsibility. And Jimmie, you taking responsibility by putting your faith first.
Amen.
If your spirit ain't in this, if you leave out what you believe in and you just doing whatever you want to do, that's a form of idolatry.
Hello.
That's you putting I first.
Right.
That's the wrong thing to do. And it will fail.
Thank you,
brother. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so much failure in the world. Absolutely. Because people don't want to put what they believe in, which we believe in God,
right?
Or whatever you want to say you believe in.
Right.
It's okay to believe in whatever you believe in, but put it first. If you don't believe in it, believe in all 100%.
Right.
You know, the last thing you want to believe in is yourself.
Hello.
Yourself ain't nothing.
There you go.
So find something to believe in it and go all the way in.
All the 100%.
Way in.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And go through the world, doing, the most important thing is love and loyalty. And that's what I love about BG Wealth. Even though we use an AI, to do our trades and stuff, because people be saying AI, robots taking our jobs. They're taking away relationships. Where in BG Wealth, you got to form relationships to be successful.
Exactly.
In BG Wealth.
Hello.
BG Wealth causes you to have to form relationships if you want to be successful.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you have to take responsibility and you have to tell people your story if you want to grow.
Yep.
Or you take responsibility for yourself. If you just want to be in it by yourself, well, you have to take responsibility and do your trades twice a day.
It's a responsibility. Yes, sir.
Right. You have to learn how to do your withdrawals. You have to learn how to do your verifications.
Right.
You can't blame nobody if you're trying to make a withdrawal and you ain't spoke to Elena yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You mad at Jimmie. Jimmie, I tried to do a withdrawal and I couldn't get my money.
I've had that complaint. Yep.
But don't be mad at Jimmie. You ain't did the right thing.
Yep.
You ain't been to a Zoom. You ain't studying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't looking at the website. You ain't learning for yourself.
Right.
It's like you want to be a doctor, but you ain't been to college. Come on, man.
Come on, brother. And
that
medical school.
That's right. You gotta go to school. You gotta wake up, brush your teeth, get dressed, and go to class.
Yeah.
Right.
Every day for 4 years, 8 years. You gotta do what it takes. Yep. You gotta be responsible for yourself. Those professors are not gonna knock on your door and tell you to get up, come to class.
Yeah.
They're just gonna mark you absent. You're not there. And they're gonna take your money and they're gonna keep on teaching. So that's what we have to do. Personal responsibility. So the thing you do out in the world, you have to do here.
That's it.
Next slide. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
No.
Well,
that's the reason why we talk. I'm sorry, honey. I was going to say that's the reason why on the slide when we talk about BGW math, meaning your income, if you're directly responsible for understanding the skills, understanding the actual activity of what you need to do to trade, and understanding how to be a leader, that's how you thrive. That's how you.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna catch on so quick. This stuff will be so easy. Oh my God. And you'll fly. Man, everybody you see, you'll be like, oh, I got something. Let me show you this. Right. You won't even be scared to tell people. Exactly. Everybody you see, you'll tell them. And you don't care what they say to you. No, yes, maybe, never. Get out my face. You don't care what they say. Because you got the best thing since sliced bread. And it's their fault if they don't taste. If they don't come and taste. That's their fault.
That's good.
You straight.
Wow.
You got it going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this
Jimmie,
thing is powerful, y'all.
No, I'm
this
just
thing is powerful.
That's the truth. Go ahead, honey.
No, I'm just I like how Rufus breaks it down. Again, it goes back to simplicity, and he's a great communicator. You got me all excited, man. And I want to tell you, and the reason I brought that up with the gentleman, I said, guys, there are times where you got to deal with things that are uncomfortable as a leader. Now that was uncomfortable for me to talk about it, but I'm glad you came back and kind of followed up and kind of brought clarity to it. But it wasn't really about him. It's the fact that when you start something, you build something, somebody disagrees with you, it's okay to have disagreements. Let's just have respect for each other. You know what I mean? While we do it, you know what I mean? And so thank you for that. The last thing I'm going to say on this, guys, and I think y'all need to hear this. When I was 20 years old, I went to art school in Fort Lauderdale, and I was just fooling around all the time. I was in nightclubs, breakdancing. I loved to breakdance when I was in my teens, right? I had these dreads and all that. So when I graduated, I couldn't find a job. So I was thinking about going back to Gainesville to stay with my mom and dad, but I said, I got to stay here and I got to do something about this. So I kept on trying to find jobs, and I met a guy. His name was David Dietz, white man. He was my first mentor. He said, "I'm going to take you to a conference. I'm going to take you to an Amway meeting." Pardon me.
Beautiful.
He said, "I see something in you. You're going to be a great leader one day, but you need to learn how to build character. You need to learn how to lead, and you need to, this whole nightclub thing is not going to do anything for you. You know what I mean?" So he in fact, I had no place to stay. I couldn't find a job. So he was an investor. He was already rich, man. This guy was successful. He said, "You could stay in my place. Just pay me." I think I got one little job at the hot dog restaurant, Nathan's. I was making like $250 a week. This is 1993, right? So he said, "Just give me $200 a month." I was making like $800 a month, and I wouldn't even pay the man $200 a month. And he took me to this conference in another city. He said, "Brother, I believe in you." And do you know, I blew that relationship. Months later, I would never pay the man. I was always in a nightclub dancing. And he sat me down and he said, "You are not ready for leadership."
Wow.
It broke my heart because he was right, because he saw something, and he gave me a chance, but I didn't want to mature. I was leaning on him. And one day he changed the locks on the door. I couldn't get in the house. You know what I mean?
Wow.
What did I learn from that? When you have people, other leaders that see and invest time in you, take them seriously. Don't just, don't use them. Sometimes, when some leaders can help monetarily, some can't. Some give you time, right? And he did that for me for like 6 months, and I blew it with the man. He said, "You're not ready." And I never forget it. But when I went to that conference, I saw these millionaires, these people doing all this. They were doing well, right? And I just felt like one day that would be me, but it wasn't. And here I am, I'm 50 years old. Now I'm learning now that what he was doing, he was trying to help me, and I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready. Don't blame people if you're not ready. You're just not ready for leadership. That's what I was trying to say. But David Dietz, man, I wish I could find him, because I'm pretty sure he's probably somewhere saying, "Well, what happened to Jimmie?" But everything he said to me, it stuck with me. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's a word. That's a word.
Yeah. Back to you, honey.
Carlo, I see you with your hands up. We're going to try to get through the presentation because we really, really would love to take more questions and comments. But absolutely, we're encouraging. If you can just hold for us, and honey, if you can get to you got to the next slide already.
Yep, I'm there.
So this slide, the leadership mindset, and I completely forgot when I was putting in the information to put on the left, leadership. Because it says employees on the left, it says employees, and on the right, it should say leadership. So I forgot to inject that. But basically, the leadership mindset shift is different. An employee thinks, who's going to help me? Who can help me? How many times do you hear, "Oh my God, Rufus, I need help," or "Nicole, I need help. Right. Who's going to help?" Or "Taz, I need help. Can you help me, Dion? Who can help me?" Leaders don't think that way. Right. Leaders are looking for who they can help. Mm-hmm. Leaders are looking for who they can help, and this is the mindset that we're encouraging. It's one thing when you're at your job and you're getting paid an hourly wage, so you have certain expectations. But as a leader, your automatic response is, "Let me help such and such. Who can I help today?" Right. That's the mindset shift. Did you have any comments on that, honey, that you wanted to add before we switch slides?
Yeah, well, what I would say is there have been times where people come to me and they say, "Well, Jimmie, can you do this for me?" And in the beginning, just like anything else, like if you're a baby on the breast, the baby can't feed themselves. So we understand that first, they can't. But
exactly.
But let me tell you, if I see a woman with or a man, babying a child that's like 6, 7 years old and they can't eat, that's a problem. And so I realized with leadership, everybody progresses at different levels and different speeds. You know what I mean? Some people can pick it up overnight, but if you don't see any progression with the person and you continue to hold them by the hand, you're actually hurting them. You're not helping them. And that was go back to the principle with the guy in Fort Lauderdale who's trying to help me. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 months," and after the third month, it was like I was not trying to grow up. And I came home and it was raining outside and the door was locked. Right. He had changed the locks. He said, you're gonna grow up. So the point is you can't always ask for somebody to do something for you once they've shown you the basics. You got to kind of pick it up and learn it. And it's because you can't duplicate something you're not doing. You have to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey.
No. I was going to shift it to, so Jimmie and I both in our short period of marriage and life together, we have mentored many people, some older than us, some younger than us,
right?
Some, different walks of life. We've literally physically had people that lived with us that we mentored, and we did it from a ministry standpoint because, as Jimmie said before, we are both full-time ministers.
Right.
We don't minister from a pulpit, but we are ministers. We are ordained ministers, and we have a spiritual leader that has ordained us. Now, when we started ministry, we took people in, and we did it because we were doing it trying to just be compassionate and loving and helping people. But we had to realize the concept that we were not helping them if they were enabling and continuing the same destructive habits. You're not helping someone. If someone is in your life and they're addicted to drugs, or they're an alcoholic, or anyone, you're not helping them by encouraging them to continue to do the bad behavior. You're helping them when you can show them a different way, when you can say, listen, I can't support this, but I can support this positive habit with you. So it's positive reinforcement.
Exactly.
So and thank you so much for switching the slide, honey. You want to go ahead and take this slide?
Yeah. Well, let me say this before I get to that. I have to say this because I don't want to forget. When you're leading people, guys, and this is my experience, okay? So you chew up the meat, spit out the bones, but the best leadership style is not to tell people it's mandatory. I know that's going to sound, I may get some kickback for that, but I'm going to tell you why. If you're not in a job setting and you're not their boss, you're not paying them, you're dealing with other grown men and grown women, and they have children. The best example I can give is one of my greatest coaches, one of the best coaches I like. I'm a Florida Gator fan, right? I'm trying to make this relative. And I remember back in the day, this guy, Steve Spurrier, he's a great college coach. But he was talking to the college boys like he'd say anything to them, right? Because they're trying to make it to the NFL. You know what I mean? So they would tolerate him, and he could win. He got results. And I like that style. But he missed around. He went to the NFL. I think he coached the Washington Redskins at the time. That was my uncle's favorite team.
Right.
And my background in Gainesville, you're either a Dallas fan or you're a Washington Redskins fan, right? But so I'm watching the game, and he was saying something to one of the players. Make sure you guys are mute. Somebody's not muted. So the person, okay, cool. So the person said something to the coach, and the coach said something back to him. And the guy he said, "Man, I'm a grown man. You can't talk to me like that." And guess what? He didn't last in the NFL very long because remember, leadership styles, you have to be careful with how you talk to folks. You have to make sure that when you're dealing with grown-ups and people that want to grow and be leaders, you have to treat them like a leader. And there's a level of tact and professionalism that comes with that.
Right.
You just can't say anything to anybody. You do it this way. This is what you're going to do. No, use words like, this is what I recommend. This is how I would do it if I were you.
Or this is my suggestion.
My suggestion. And, or, I appreciate that thought, but I would recommend you do this instead of saying, do it this way. And this is the only way, Arlene and I, let me finish, honey.
Yes.
Arlene and I, we've been in 5 different denominations. In fact, we was in a church, I got to share this with you guys, where the leadership was telling us, we're a married couple now. We don't like y'all holding hands in the church. We don't like you doing certain things. You need to be at church at this. And we're grown people. We're missionaries. We gave up everything to come serve in the church, right? But we're grown people.
Wow.
And I told my wife, this ain't gonna last too long. You know why? Because we're adults. And I don't care how spiritual they tell you they are. If they can't respect that, and they would have the nerve to tell me we weren't in the Bible because, we're not at the church 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, you know what? That's not right. I'm saying all that to say, that's leadership. That's leadership. We call it divination. They'll say God's going to do this to you if you don't do. They were doing those kind of things, and we had to realize that that's not spiritual at all. That's manipulation. And when you do that in this kind of business or any multi-level marketing, or any, even in a regular company, when you're paying people, you just can't talk down on them. But you have more of a right if they're your employee, you're paying them. You can say, hey, we're having a mandatory meeting on Saturday, you got to be there because they're paying you. But with this, you're building something. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Look at the people above you and below you and beside you. And when I say that, I mean upline, crossline, downline, sideline, whatever you want to call it. All of them, they're business partners with you. And the more you serve them and show them the way instead of telling them the way, yes. Gurus talk about something and tell you to do something they're not doing. But King Rufus does this thing. He don't tell you, and so I look at him, I go, I want to follow that. That's what I was trying to get at. But honey, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes. Actually, so I would like to bring it to my own personal example, because for those of you that don't know anything about me, when I met Jimmie, I was a successful clothing designer. I was one of the head designers for Anne Klein A-Line in New York when I met Jimmie 17 years ago. And I worked in corporate America for a long time, so I know the little idiosyncrasies and so forth like that. But the important thing was, at that time, in my particular experience, they didn't encourage a culture of respect. Just because someone is your subordinate or right. above you or underneath you, it doesn't mean that they lack respect. I know people think that being harsh is respectful, is you have to demand respect. I had a mentor, and Jimmie and I are very strong into mentorship, which is probably why we've had so many people that we've mentored personally in our life. I had a mentor that used to say to me all the time, Arlene, you can tell how small a person is by what it takes to make them feel big. If you need that to make you feel big and successful and to put someone down, then you're not a successful leader.
Powerful.
You're just a bully.
Powerful.
Is what you are. And Jimmie and I are very good at confronting that type of thing, because we do that all the time with mentorship. You don't have to demand and beat someone over the head. You catch more, the scripture, they say in Jamaica all the time, you catch more bees with honey than vinegar. They say it here as well.
That's
right?
Powerful. Yep.
A soft answer does turn away wrath. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be passive and dumb down your personality. I am an assertive, strong woman. That's just the way I am. However, I don't have to be disrespectful to make a point to someone else.
Powerful question.
So let's pivot to this personal success formula here.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for all the love and the great comments, family.
Absolutely. And I can't see the comments, but I'll look at them in a little bit here. But so let me just take this on. So even here, when it says each member must, even that word must, we're highly suggesting that you do it. We're not telling you this is it. Yes. You know what I mean? Okay. Right. But because again, when I confronted what was going on with us in that ministry, I had to go to the leadership and say, hey, listen, you got to stop this. Well, we're your spiritual parents and we gave you this, and no, you can't do that. So when you're in what we're doing now, you could find some people get personally offended and they're not talking about it because somebody said something to them out of character, and you're trying to figure out, why is the team not growing? So be careful of that. And when you see that kind of spirit or that attitude with members, that you got to pull them aside and say, hey, listen, that's not what we're doing here. We're a team here. Okay. Yes. So personal sales. Okay. So Arlene set this up, and I'm going to try to break this down as best I can here. I didn't even review this, but
Jimmie, you got it, babe. Go ahead.
I got it. Okay. We'll see. So personal sales are very, very important, but I guess sales is gonna turn into recruiting, personal recruiting. All right.
Yes.
And then to do both of these, in my opinion, you have to have personal development. Some people think, I can just get a job where I do this, right? If you work for somebody else and you're not developed personally, you don't understand how to approach people. A good book to read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. My wife says, Jimmie, you're an influencer. And I'm very careful with that because you can be an influencer the wrong way, right? Yeah. You want to influence people to do the right thing. But I think influence, and that comes through personal development, self-belief, understanding how, that you're not by yourself. You have to be able to deal with different personalities. That's how you find a way to sell to other people and recruit them, right? Yeah. And another thing that I think is lacking, it's not on here, is customer service. That's very underrated right now.
Yes.
Being able to serve people and not necessarily try to sell them anything. And that's what I like about BG. Well, if you just show them the opportunity, how the money's made, you don't have to sell anything. But personal development is so important because, you know, the more you grow, the more your income is going to grow. It's a fact. Okay. And then when you get you get to this level here, it's going to be just natural that you're going to become financially literate. Because when you grow as a person and you start learning how to make money, eventually you're going to have to ask yourself the big question. I want to be rich. I want to be very successful. What do I need to know about money that's causing me to stay broke?
Yes.
Okay? A millionaire told me this a long time ago. This was back in, 2000, year 2000. If you guys don't know my background, before I was doing all of this, I still do it. I'm heavily invested in real estate, fix and flips, buy and hold, multifamily property, all of it, et cetera, right? Because that's real estate's like the number one, right beside crypto, I think, of creating wealth. But my first mentor told me this after David Dietz. When I was 20, I met a guy right after him. His name was Carlton Nelson. He was sitting in his office all day, guys, and black man, him and his wife. She was I think she was Italian. She was a real estate broker. She was a real estate broker. He was just he was a black man from Jersey, right? They had an office, and he was making like 50 grand a month, right? Now she was a real estate broker. He was the investor. He got this little list of names. It was called a lis pendens list. If you know the term lis pendens is basically pre foreclosure. That's what I like to say. Pre foreclosure, right? He would get this list he paid like $200 a month for it. And this list would come to him, and all he would do was call those people or send them a little postcard in the mail saying, hey, listen, I will buy your house from you. Or I'll give you $30,000 to get out of that house. And this guy would make like 12 phone calls a month while I'm busting my butt. I'm working hard now. Now, you don't know this, guys, but I was married before Arlene came along. Okay. All right. So I was married to my first wife. She had 3 kids. All right. When I say she had 3 kids, she had kids when I married her. We were together 12 years. She was a lot older than me. I'm telling you this because I want to give some perspective here so you know what's going on. So I worked, I did that. He mentored me in real estate, and I worked like 3 jobs. I was busting my butt. And so he sat me down. He said, Jimmie, all I do is I send out these postcards, and they call me. He said, I don't work hard for wealth. I work smart. Go there. They call me. I go look at the house. I tell them, listen, get out of this property because it's in pre-foreclosure. I'll give you 30, 40 grand for it. I'll help you find another place. Then I go to my wife. She puts it on the market, and we make 100 grand on it. And by the time everything's done, I make $50,000 a month. He said, the harder you work, the less money you make.
That's powerful.
Do you know I wanted to fight the man? He was probably, I was 25, 26. He was like 35, multimillionaire in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. He understood financial literacy.
Yeah.
That's the point. He knew how to create wealth working smart.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of our people are educated on how wealth really works. And he said, you got to find ways to leverage your resources and, and how you do things.
Yes.
I have access to this list, and most people don't know about the list. So I just use the list, and the people call me, and here I am making 100 calls, right? In his office, because he let me stay and hang around him just to mentor me. And I'm making all these calls, and I can't get investors on the phone. I couldn't find property. He was just trying to show me. And then he took me out with him one day, and he said, this is what you do and how you do it. And from that day to this day, I've been on that journey to learn how money works. Now, BG Wealth is just that. You invest.
Yeah.
You can build a small team. You invest. You do your trades, and you get rich. You become very successful because the bot does all the work. The bot is, the bot kicks out these 2 codes, and all you do is you put them in. Well, yes. I know day traders that they're struggling right now because they don't have a system. They got to get up early in the morning and figure out how to put the trades in with the S&P 500, the Dow, and all that stuff. This is fail proof. But when we get to this level here, that's when you really create wealth, when you learn what you're doing after you've done everything over here. Okay. And then communication. There's a guy I listen to. Rufus listen to this guy too. His name is Myron Golden. Yes. Myron Golden talked about the communication skill. There's 4 levels of value. Communication is level 3. He said when you become a great communicator, you can make up to $1 billion because communication is key. Not necessarily being a great speaker, but you have to be a great communicator. If you're a leader, like Dr. Martin Luther King or or Gandhi or someone that can gather people together and communicate a message, even in the financial world, Tony Robbins, you can enter the billion flow. Now, with this, what we're doing here, don't limit yourself. I guarantee you eventually we're probably gonna have some billionaires in here.
Yes.
But you got to do all these here, and you got to communicate well. So having said that, I'm going to go to the next train because I know I'm going on here.
Before you lead others, you got to lead yourself. I want to make sure you get that in.
Absolutely.
That is powerful. So, okay, our next core concept is the duplication part, which is the teaching 5, duplicating and repeat. So you can go on to the next slide after this, honey, please. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The power of 5. Specifically, I really, really, really want to hear from Rufus on this one, on the power of 5, because even though, and I also want to hear from you too, honey, because specifically, this is how we grow our team. This is how we grow our team. So, Rufus, if you go ahead and unmute yourself, brother, because I would really love to hear about the power of 5, and because you really taught us that. It's simple, but it's powerful. It's a powerful concept.
Absolutely.
So, Rufus, if you could go ahead and unmute real quick, if you still
I'm unmuted. Yeah, it just simply 5 get 5, but that's just to get to level 7, really. 5 get 5. Now, if you're thinking about getting to level 12, if you got that that type of mindset, you trying to go all the way. You trying, you already know you finna build a huge team. You might want to think 10 get 10 get 10. You know what I'm saying? But for now, to keep it simple, 5 get 5 get 5, that'll get you good. I mean, you had the slide. Well, I'm sure you're gonna show the slide probably with the different levels, because at level 7, that dividend chart that the company pays you. Yes. Because we're not an MLM here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that. Right. So we don't get paid, off a bunch of people going down levels. Right. Like I brought Jimmie in, Arlene in, and you can see why I brought Arlene and Jimmie in. Y'all already see that now. Y'all can see why I chased them. You know what I'm saying? They're a perfect fit for BG Wealth. They had to be in this thing, and I didn't care how many times they say they were busy. They told me no, it doesn't matter. Well, they didn't tell me no. So that's the only reason why I kept showing it to them. I was going to keep going till they said no. Until you say no, that means not now.
Right.
That's all that means to me. Not right now. Sometimes you just got to know who's worth showing it to. So to me, that means not right now. That's fine. I went on and showed more people. That's okay. Because I already know I got to keep building, because I want my 5. Because I don't know which 5 going to get their 5. So I want to continue to put. I didn't stop at 5. That's what I want to get out to a lot of people. Don't just get 5 and stop. You want to continue to share. And continue to build relationships. Continue to put people on your first level. And you only get paid that one time from the people that get on your first level. You get your 5% or your 10% bonus, and that's it. Whoever they bring in, that you don't get paid no more. It's not an MLM. The only thing that helps you with is volume. Because volume help you get shares with the company, and the company gonna pay you. Right. Okay. And when the company pays you, when you get 5 people, that's when you become a level 1 manager. Okay. And once you become a level 1 manager, the company now recognizes that you're helping them grow, because their goal is to become like the next Coinbase or Bytnex. That's what they want. They don't want, they trying to eradicate poverty. That's what they trying. That's their main goal, to get rid of poverty. So they want a bunch of little men coming in with their 500,000, 5,000 to double their money, to grow their money. They don't want that one big person or 10 big
Coming
people
with
to come in with $1 million.
That's
and
right.
all that.
That's right.
They ain't here for the money. They got plenty of money. They are traders.
Right.
They can make money left and right. They throwing money left and right to us.
That's it.
So they don't care about that. They're about active investors. So they're gonna reward you for doing your job, really, for bringing in 5 people. As soon as you bring in your money, they're gonna give you a percentage. So you're gonna make money by bringing money. You bring in $1,000, they're gonna what they give you 5%. So they're gonna give you another $50.
Yep.
And they're gonna give your sponsor $100 because you brought in 1,000.
Yeah.
If you bring in $500, they're gonna add $25 to your 500, and they're gonna give your sponsor $25. And on top of that, they're gonna give you extra signals. Meaning you ain't gonna just trade with 2 signals and make money. You're gonna trade with 6 more. They call them dynamic signals.
Yes, sir.
So whatever amount they came in with, you're gonna trade with 1% of that amount that they came in with. So if somebody came in with $10,000, which somebody on this call came in and blessed me with, every time I traded on dynamics, that gave me 16 extra signals. Wow. So that was $100 every time. Every time.
Yes, sir. That's good.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good.
Yes.
So I appreciate you, young man.
Right.
So the company, they gave me $1,000 for bringing him in. You know what I'm saying? Wow. See, I'm gonna continue to bring people in because I don't know which 5 or which 7 going to become level 1 managers.
Yes.
See, that's my goal. Right. I want people to become level 1 managers. Because when they become level 1 managers, that's going to help me to go to the next level. So at the first level, I got $30 on the 9th, the 19th, and the 29th. They pay you 3 times a month. So at $30, a lot of people like, that's all you get, $30? What you mean that's all I get? I guarantee if you saw $30 on the ground at the grocery store, you're gonna run to put your foot on that $30.
You
so don't act like $30 ain't nothing.
That's right. That's right.
That $30 add up to $90 at the end of the month that you can add to your trade to compound. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're gonna give you $100 bonus. Okay. And as you grow, you're gonna be excited about them $30. Trust me. And it ain't really so much about the money. And I was discussing this with Haygood, I believe. It's about that they kept their promise.
They keep their word.
The company do what they tell you they're gonna do. You hit a certain level, you do what you're supposed to do, they're gonna give you what they promise.
That's it.
I don't care if you say you're gonna give me $1, give me my $1. I don't care about the $1. You said you're gonna give it to me. And that's what I was looking for when I was looking for another company, another platform to join.
Right.
I done been in many. I've been in multiple ones. So I need another platform that's going to do what it says. And I need a platform that's going to allow me not to just look at the numbers on the screen, but I can withdraw the numbers on the screen.
Yes.
It's powerful. Yes, sir.
So that's what you want to do. So 5 get 5 get 5. And see, that'll get you to that next level, which is level 2. Level 2, you'll become a level 2 manager, and that's when you'll get $150 every 10 days. So they'll give you, I think the bonus is for that is I think they give you $300. I think that's the bonus. They give you a one-time bonus.
That's it.
And then they give you 150 every 10 days. So that's extra $450 that you can withdraw, keep it for yourself, or you can just add it to your trade. Your compound. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Get my thing. And so did you want to know anything else about the Power of 5? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, we can allow people to unmute for that if you want to jump in and ask a quick question.
And I see that you got 5 strong leaders. Yes, you want 5 strong leaders. But remember, I told you, you want to just keep adding people because you never know who's going to be your strong leader, to be honest. Because a lot of people be a lot of talk.
There you go.
A lot of people say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, yeah, Rufus, put me on your first level.
And no production. Right.
But
Talk is cheap.
what makes you a strong leader is not that you can talk a good game of gab. It's that you can keep your word and do what you say and say what you do. When you go ahead and you bring in a leader is someone who's already, they caught the vision. They got the vision. The vision is very clear to them. They understand, and they're seeing and taking personal responsibility as this is my business and I want productivity from my business. It's not just, well, it's my leader who wants another 5 and duplicate another 5 so he can grow a big team. No, yes, okay, yes, we're helping each other as a community grow our teams large. However, you become a strong leader when you see the vision